So hello YouTube, I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic. It's CalFX here and I'm back with another one. So I just hope you guys had an incredible beginning of Q4. We actually, we actually just had a great, great opening of Q4. We just casted the first stone for for a profitable Q4, and I hope you guys, have the same. We gotta finish the year, I mean, in blues, right? So in today's video, basically, I will just talk about how to catch the overall higher time frame or the flow on the lower time frame. And basically, I will just talk about a trade that I caught on Aussie dollar. This actually was one of my biggest risk to reward ratio trades. It was a whopping of 1 to 187. I closed at 1 to 187. But of course, I didn't make 100 times the risk. I think I only made like close to 10%, 9 point something for 1% risk, because usually I just take majority of partials at like 1 to 9, 1 to 10, and I just leave the rest to run. But of course, the possibility is there, right? To make with the system, the possibility is there to make 10, 20 to 50%. It just depends on each other's psychology, right? So let's just hop right on it, and let's start from the monthly time frame. I believe it's very, very important when you guys are doing the overall higher time frame. When you're establishing the higher time frame directional biases, it's important to just get a look on the monthly time frame as well as the weekly, right? So if we look at the the monthly time frame, we can look that the overall order flow is absolutely bearish, right? We just need to look left and say we had this structure low, we had this structure high, and then price had made this low. So price broke structure, it came back to mitigate this supply zone, then broke structure again, it came back to the extremity of this range high right here, and we're starting to see Aussie dollar pushing all the way down. So our expectation is to see Aussie dollar coming all the way down, grabbing the monthly previous structure low to maintain the overall bearish of the flow. So that's it from the monthly. Now we're trading within this range high and this range low. We want to understand what's going on within this range on the monthly range. So what do? We drop down to the weekly time frame. So we come to the weekly, we can clearly see that the overall order flow is bearish as well. So we have the break, pull back, break, then price came back to mitigate this and some unmitigated supply zone here. So I ended up using this previous pullback as inducement, right? Because some people would have set the limit order here. So it swept, came to the extreme unmitigated supply zone, and we started to see the push to the downside. So our expectation now within that monthly range is to see price coming all the way down and grab the weekly previous structure low. So this is how we actually establish the understanding of what is the higher time frame intention on this pair, right? Now we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, which was basically the base of our trade, of the trade that I caught as an intraday trade, that I trying to look more into the daily and 4-hour time frame. So if we look at the 4-hour, basically everything is just bearish. We had the price breaking structures coming back to mitigate supply zones responsible for it. Then with the break, pull back, break. So price broke structure, came back here. We had another break, came back to supply zone and broke structure again. So we're seeing this mitigation play right here of price breaking structures and coming back to the order blocks to do the mitigation before it continues to push all the way down. So we just have a very clear bearish order flow on the 4-hour. Now once price came into this 4-hour supply zone after it had broken below this previous structure low, I dropped down to M15 time frame. So we come to M15 time frame. Usually what I like to see before I start to take trades on the lower time frame is at least an M15 change of character, right? So what happened is we had this structure high, we had this minor low right here before price made this high right here, and then we had the change of character. Now sometimes actually I had my supply zone set for this high. I believe I even sent this on Sunday when I sent some charts on the free Telegram group on the Outlook. So I said that I wanted to see price coming all the way up into this supply zone. But in trading sometimes we can't just wait for what we want to see. Sometimes I mean, price will do its thing. We need to react to what the price is telling us at the moment, right? So price started to push all the way down, and I saw this supply zone right here, which basically is like a 10 M10 supply zone. If I zoom in a little bit more, we can see, let me just zoom in. We can see that we had this structure low, this high, before price made this low and then pulled back to mitigate. Then we had a new break of structure. So once price came into this supply zone, I started to monitor the trade. I actually caught this trade during Asia session, which usually is not my trade in hours, but I just happened to wake up in the middle of the night, and I started to monitor some pairs. So I ended up finding the trade already dropping from this M10 supply mitigation. So that's when I dropped down to M2 time frame. So we come to M2, for example, if we look at what's going on here is, once price came into this supply zone, he had taken this high, we can see that, okay, we had this decisional high and low before price made this high. So this technically was the change of character. This would have been the point of interest, but we can see price didn't come back to the chalk, right, in this scenario. Now, if we look at what's going on here to this point, we can see that we had some demand zone right here. The price started to react from. So price came into this demand, it pulled back, then it created the break of structure. So this could be the first entry for those people that like to trade demand to supply flips, flip zones and stuff like that. So this was very valid. You could have set your limit order at this sort of block. So let me just see if that's what price did. So I was monitoring that flip zone as well. So let me just play a little bit more. So price actually came back into that zone that was responsible for breaking that demand zone right there of the flip zone. So my trade, actually, I waited for the second break right after price had created this flip zone and it came back. I said, okay, I just want to see another break and I'll enter. So price broke structure again right here. So this was the break of structure. So we just had this beautiful confirmation right here. Basically, this was just that double confirmation, right? Price comes into this demand, it pulls back, create and break structure. So this is the flip zone. This could have been your first entry, right? You could have chosen all this zone. You could even include the fair value gap, right? But for me personally, I wanted to see another confirmation, right? I just wanted to be a little bit more conservative, so I waited for the second break. Price came into this demand zone. I went down to seconds time frame, which is 5 seconds. It's something that I actually teach very detailed on the mentorship. But my trade, actually caught my trade somewhere here at 31, and I had a 0.6 pip stop loss on 5 seconds. During Asia, 5 seconds, on 5 seconds time frame, 1 pip stop loss is huge, right? So I went with 0.6, but the lot size was calculated for 1 pip stop loss, 1%, and so 0.6 was here. So all the way to 1 minute low was about 1 to 9.6, which is amazing. Being able to make 9 times your risk in just a short period of time is absolutely amazing. So I took my partial like 1 to 8 point something, close to 9. I took about 80% volume off. I left 20% running. I started taking partials at 1 to 30, 1 to 60. So by the time it went all the way down to 1 to 187, which was where I closed, I only had left like 0.2, 0.02, 0.03, lots. So it was nothing. I just wanted to see how far price could go. So of course I didn't make 100 times the risk. So I don't want the word to go out there that I flipped my account. I didn't, right? But the possibility is there, right? The system allows it, so the possibility is there. It just depends on each other's psychology. Now, if I go back to M15 a little bit, we need to understand what was the high time frame intention, right? At first, we wanted to see price coming all the way down to this 4 hour right here, which is what I had targeted the first for 1 to 168. That was the first target. I was updating this on the free Telegram group, so some of you guys were able to see when price was here. I said price just tapped 1 to 100. I wanted to see price coming to 100, 1 to 168. So if I just play price a little bit, let me just allow price to run. um, so yeah, price had a really huge comeback at this particular point, but the overall the overall high time frame intention was there, and I just wanted to see price completing the wall outlook. So we can see price started to push beautifully uh, up to this point. It tapped the 1 to 168 mark. So when I woke up at this time, we can see it was about around 5 a.m. That's when I found the trade at 1 to 187, somewhere here, and I closed the trade. So let me just push price right here to the left. Let me just, okay, right here. So up to this point, I ended up closing the trade at 1 to 187, which is the biggest risk to reward ratio I have had so far. It was just a beautiful, beautiful trade. So right here on the right, you guys have my MT5 to always show that I walk this YouTube talk, right? We're not just talking, we gotta walk it. So that's it, guys, for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I hope I made the point clear. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button for me. If you're new, subscribe, guys. Let's subscribe. And if you're willing to join the mentorship to take these trades with me, because majority of the trades I take I always send beforehand for the students. So feel free to let me know. My contact is on the description box below, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.